Hi everybody, this is just a overall review of edge cases for this season. I'm Dave, this is James, this is
Eric.
We're the head referee, and also we have Aviva Schumann. Let's talk about field setup first. One thing we just want to emphasize is that the audience, it doesn't have to be on the same launch corner. So once this thing is set up, the team is up to their discretion to place what expert is on what corner. Same thing with the museum expert guy. So museum expert guy is over there. He's the guy with the magnifying glass. It is up to the team's decision whether they reside on red or blue. Okay? This thing here, the centerpiece, whatever masterpiece, it is the only item that the team brings over. And we have to make sure as referee that they take it with them when they leave. So it is not our responsibility to go chase after them. We have a lot of teams doing competition. So make sure they take things away and make sure they don't take things that don't belong to them. We don't want to lose any of these 7 of them. Okay. What else? Over on the game update, there is a little diagram that we're going to send to everybody of the setup positions of what individual experts are. And I myself right now still don't remember, but hypothetically, I think let's say this guy is supposed to be here, and then he needs to get picked up and then placed.
I have it on my phone.
Okay.
You want to take
Let's see somewhere here.
Okay, you want to hold this?
So in the rule book, it says the expert needs to be completely in.
Yes.
And that's including the airspace above it. So over on the rule book,
Right, like in projects vertically up. It includes the line around it, but it's also, so there will be mission conditions that say completely in and touching the mat, but there are those that will say completely in, but they won't say touching the mat. So if the team built some kind of equipment, this is a mission model, this isn't equipment, but if the team built something like this to put them, then you could have it in and it's not touching the mat, but it can still be completely in.
because in the rule book, in the score sheet, it doesn't say for expert delivery it needs to touch the mat. So in the score sheet, if it doesn't say it has to touch the mat, you don't have to. Which relates to the audience guide. Here, the audience is also in some designated area. Yes, okay. So it needs to be completely in a target destination, like for example here, including the white line. So this is in, but this is not. Okay? Then what happens is you are allowed to attach experts into your, attach audience and experts together like this. That counts. Because in the rulebook, you're allowed to attach with easily separable. Okay? Now, the thing is, during mission setup time, it is up to the team to do strange things like this. Okay? If you see the team doing things at the setup time or during the game, just do a mental note that they're gonna do funny things like this and it's legal. They could attach multiples on there too.
We want to let the referees know that there's nothing in the rule book to prohibit a robot launching from launch, coming into the home area where there's no mat, and making this meet the mission condition. There's nothing that says that can't happen, so we would score that.
But during launch, make sure the robot and any attachment and cables and things like that are fully in your launch area. Here, not in home. And you can't overhang over a wall over here. Everything's got to be within here. We should go back to mission 0, the equipment inspection. Okay, to earn the 20 points, the robot needs to be completely fitting into one launch area. Okay, and under 12 inches.
And all attachments and all equipment.
All attachment, all equipments. So once they pass equipment inspection, the team then can diverse into whatever launch area and attachments. And once that's done, it is completely on the mat itself. The team are not allowed to pick robot or attachment and pass it by hand from one corner to another. If they do, then it's a penalty token.
But you can, when the robot's out here, if you touch it and get a touch penalty, you can, if it started here and you take the touch penalty and you lose the precision token, you can put it on that side. But you pay for it with a token.
And it's up to the team's decision what launch area they can go to. You don't have to go back to the original spot. That also leads to the next thing of stranded robot scenario. One of the thing is these experts that are out in the field, the robot needs to go out and get them and then go place it where the final destination is for it. But in a robot that is stranded, and for some reason the robot has an attachment that gets this, but it's stranded, this is not earned because this needs to be surrendered to the referee, just like any other season that we've been doing, and the robot can be placed to whatever the launch position, and they lose a position token.
So if the robot's all the way out here, leaves this here, and then you touch penalty the robot, that stays. If the robot had this with it, if the
And
robot's
it's
carrying this,
partially
and
home.
your robot is partially in, and for whatever reason they touch penalty the robot gets taken away, that can stay there. But if the team chooses to take it, because it's in the way or whatever, they get a touch penalty, and this has to go in the referee's hand.
This one here, it needs to be red flag down first. The initial condition is this is the blue dot, and then the flag is up. So there may be scenarios where the robot would just touch a flag and didn't do anything. So we count that. Because it's default.
some points.
They still earn some points.
being shown. Yeah.
Blue being shown as a default, but the red flag is down already. So we look for the red flag first, and then see what color it is. Okay. Now the next thing is cooperative. When the team asks the next opposite table if they're matching colors. Okay. They don't have to match colors. If they don't, orange is the highest points. Then it's the pink, and default blue is 10.
If a robot was built and the kids thought they were doing something clever to raise all three of these at the same time, the way the model's built, this one won't stay up top. This one actually, the finished position, this one's the highest of them. So in terms of when we say the ref gives the kids the benefit of the doubt, there's nothing wrong with this mission model. It's so there'd be no benefit of the doubt to give the kid, you can just give them the points for the third one.
No, they have to lift it.
Yes.
What's the
Because-
correct method?
I think we determined it was
Second.
right, left,
There
middle.
we go.
Okay.
Yep.
But
Took us
I've
a while to
seen,
get that in rehearsal.
I've seen that you can lift these two and then come back for the third one and it'll stay.
Oh, really?
up.
Okay.
Yes.
Which
So
mission is
it's
that?
10 points.
Which one is that?
That's the
Sound mixer.
Sound mixer.
Okay, one more thing, Lisa. This guy is in the score sheet, nothing should be touching the sound mixer. That's mission 10. So if there's something touching that, we don't count that. Okay?
In other words, to help it stay up.
Yep.
Can't
So
do that.
anything that we need to look for in the score sheet, it will be highlighted in light blue. Okay? So like this immersive experience. Immersive is that one. Let's go over there. Yes. So this immersion mission over here, all they need to do is just raise this. We don't care how the mission is done. But at the end of the match at 2.5 minutes, nothing should be touching this. So in the score sheet, equipment may not be touching immersive experience. So if it touch, we can't count that mission. Same thing with Masterpiece. Over in mission 4, the Masterpiece, can we have that? Yes, and whatever the kick thing. Okay, so in mission 4, the Masterpiece is partially in the target area so that this guy can be like this and it would count. So that's 10 points. But it's another 20 points if this is vertical and whatever the team's Masterpiece creation is on top of the pedestal. Okay, so that's 30 points together. But it's got to be totally inside the museum, including the white. It doesn't say you have to match, so this thing can be on some kind of attachment, right? But it needs to be completely independent, not touching anything.
It doesn't need to be fully in the white though.
It doesn't have to be fully. So as long as it's fully in here, so as long as it's partially in this place, that counts.
Yes. Here
Yeah. So this is an example. So we would have 3 missions together. Okay, so let's pile them on. Okay.
If you can fit them, you can have
If you
them
could fit
all,
them.
all grabbing onto one hoop.
Yes. So as a referee, we just count how many of these orange experts are in the area. It doesn't have to touch the mat.
Oh,
The
those
team.
are audience members, yeah.
Yes, these audience members can be piled on some Lego block, along with the museum thing. On the mat, on the score sheet, mission 14 and 15, it doesn't say you need to touch the mat. So the team can pile everything on one piece here and deliver it. As long as it's fully in, including the air up here, we count 5 points each. So if this was completely by itself with nothing on there, but it's touching, I think it's okay. But if they pile everything on a plate or something like that, and the plate touching it, then we don't count.
Then the plate is.
Then the plate
Right.
is team equipment.
If this was all on a plate, the plate is equipment.
Yeah.
Okay, so
So,
go ahead.
First, this black line, the boat has to be completely past it. It's a very small black line, but it imaginary extends infinitely. So if for some reason the boat took a wild turn over here, as long as it's past that line and you imaginary extend it this way, it made it. All right? Another thing, here, this is the starting position for this camera. It's 1 point value to get the boat past the line. It's another point value to get this. The conditions in the rule book are completely, it's touching the mat and it's at least partly in this curved quadrilateral here. So we were talking about this before we started recording. So this is definitely on the mat and fully in. This is on the mat and partially in. And we're thinking, this is also on the mat and partially in, because it doesn't say it has to be on the mat in. It is, but just both of those things are true right now. It's on the mat and it's at least partially in.
So you could technically carry the whole camera ring on equipment and then carry the whole thing in there, right?
But if equipment were holding this up, this wouldn't be touching the mat. So that would be a no-go.
So here, when you first start, the chicken needs to be touching this gray peg over there. Okay, and I think this is the only way to do it is you spin.
Well, isn't this supposed to?
Can this also? Oh, here. Should work.
So just we're showing that the robot doesn't have to work that orange paddle.
Yes.
So it's 1 score if the chicken moved at all.
Yes.
It's another higher score if the chicken is partially overlapping that purple dot.
Yes.
Yeah.
If we turn our attention to this, right?
Yes.
One way to do it is to lift that bar up. Another way to do it, which would be totally legal, would be for a tall attachment having robot to spin this up here.
Yes.
That would be totally good.
And I have seen where YouTube again, where they have a very tall, elaborate attachment, push it onto the tower, spin this thing, and leave it there. That's okay too.
Yeah.
Because if the rule book doesn't say whether this thing has to be independent or not. So again, with the benefit of the doubt, we look at the white arrow to see what's the closest one, and if it's between the lower and the high score, we give them the high score for the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
Yep.
The only thing is, if they have a tall attachment, it still can't be over 12 inches in base.
Right. So during equipment inspection, you have to have a tall attachment, lay it down horizontal. Anything else? This guy over here, I haven't even done this part yet, but it releases him off the ramp, and we count.
Should we say that the robot doesn't have to make that move?
Yes,
by
you
springing the
don't
orange
need
and
to
black
do the
bar?
springing.
Yeah, we're already using an axle to
Did it
push
work?
it through. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So the movie card over here is up here, and any way that you could get it to slide down the track, past the color codes, this thing is not set up correctly.
Yeah. Most of the time, it's going to bounce. It's going
Yeah.
to land.
If you
here.
don't trip this, it's gonna bounce and land somewhere here.
Yeah. So if you're really good, you can take this down, but then guide this over. Because even if you push it, this rubber thing is gonna make it bounce back. So,
Yeah.
Okay.
Just a overview for the
Like
new
this one.
referees. What we do as head referee is just to walk around every table to make sure everything is up to snuff, but it's individual referee per table that oversees the game, and we don't score until the 2.5 minutes is over. So during the game, all the referee does is make sure that the team follows the rules, and if there's any infractions, we take tokens away, and that's it.
Okay. It's very important that the referee makes sure that the team does not leave with any audience members or any experts, and doesn't and the pedestal.
Yes.
They can take their art piece, but they gotta leave the pedestal. Referees have to do their best to reset the field. Now the team is also responsible for checking, the field. Also, on something that you mentioned, if for whatever reason a mission doesn't work, they only going to get the points for it if they attempt to do it.
Yes.
So it's one thing if they attempt to do this and it's jammed, then it's on us. Okay, but if they didn't attempt it, okay,
We can't give them that.
and even if we forget to reset it, if they didn't attempt it, then they can't get the points for any mission that needs that. For this one, even if it doesn't open up long, the key is moving the.
And the thing with that is you just need to pass it halfway, the rest is gravity.
Yeah,
Take
once you
over.
get it about right there.
And then just
Boom.
plop.
Yeah.
One more thing, over on the score sheet, there's an item for gracious professionalism. If the team behaves really well, they high five each other, they're polite to the referee, we noted that, but if they're unruly or whatever, it would be like a negative impact on them. The other thing too is for scoring, we only talk to the team. We don't listen to yelling parents and coaches and whatever on the side. They could yell all they want.
And video is not admissible.
We don't admit videos. Yep. Once the team signs a score sheet, that's it. We don't go back. Let's see what else.
And if the kids at the field can't agree, oh, go ahead, Aviva.
Another thing too is a lot of the robots in practice, they'll be used, they'll have a tablet nearby and they'll be coding on
Oh,
the
yes.
tablet. So for the matches, the tablets and laptops have to be turned off and put away, given to the coaches, not to the children.
Okay.
There
If
is-
someone's taking a video that's different, that's all right, but it's clearly being used to control the robot during practice. We just have to kind of remind the team that all robots need to be autonomous for the game.
Just
Yeah, same here.
tell the kids not to shake the table.
Yes.
Okay. And also, if they cannot reach the robot, ask the referee, because some of the kids are small, and if it's way back here, ask the adult to bring the robot. Ask the referee to get the robot. Because they would have to reach over and possibly shake the table trying to reach it. So
And one thing I want to emphasize too, being as a referee, we got to be careful. The worst thing we want to do is undo the missions that the robot did. Okay? So if we did that, then it's bad on us and we give him the credit for it. So it's better that we just lift it very gingerly. We don't want the attachment spilling over. It's going to make a mess of the thing.
yes, I totally agree. I've been a referee before, so I had that experience, and I had to be very, very careful not to disturb a completed mission. Yeah.
We also cover happy and unhappy accidents. Happy accidents, we just let it go. Unhappy, sorry. Anything else?
I don't think so. I think we covered
Great.
all the good stuff.
Thank you guys so much. This was super informative.